Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Imagine Earth. Specifically, we'll be looking at the new DLC that just released, Galaxies. You can find that on Steam for about $4. The core game is on sale, 60% off right now, so from $25 down to $10 until April 15th, 2025. And again, Galaxies, the DLC, is about 10% off as part of this new launch. So before we tackle the DLC, let's talk about the core game, because it's been 3 years since my last review video of the core game, and I have about 24, 25 hours on record. A lot of that was way back when, but I did spend a couple of hours tonight checking out everything all over again. And in the core game, there are multiple ways to play. There's a campaign, there's an endless mode, there's a challenge mode. The editor is kind of cool. You can pick like what factions you'll be fighting against, if any. So you can just settle down onto the planet alone if you want to in the endless mode, just to get the feel of what's going on. You can even disable some of the nasty events because there are different calamities that will befall your civilization if you're not careful. And the whole idea of Imagine Earth is to economically and ecologically build up a colony or colonies and do it without destroying the planet. It's very much one of those save the planet kind of games where you're essentially going to be worried about three main things, which is power, food, and industry goods. And depending on what structures you put down to satisfy those needs, it will affect the planet in different ways. So you can put down a solar farm, for example, and that won't affect the environment all that much. The planet by default has like ways to counteract pollution, but if you build so much bad stuff, then the planet starts doing bad things back to you. Anyway, so you're gonna be only able to build so many structures, like types of structures, in the beginning. That's where the research comes into play, and you're going to be researching new upgrades for all of the different buildings that are in this game, and that takes time. So you're going to pick something within the adjacency of your current research and build it. It takes a while. Then there's tech licenses. As I said before, there are different types of structures that satisfy the different things. There are I want to say 7 or 8 different power structures, 7 or 8 different food structures, 7 or 8 different industry structures for your goods. And again, some of them pollute, some of them don't, and some of these can be upgraded this way, and that's where that research comes into play. And there's also colony shares in this game. So there's kind of you can buy or sell shares to earn some money. It's a fairly deep game. I want to warn you that even the core game by itself can be a bit overwhelming. I recommend the campaign, but I also recommend an endless mode, but with no competing factions and all of the bad stuff turned off, so you have time to get used to everything. And ideally, you're trying to grow your population, because if you grow it big enough, you will be able to then get another colony, town hall, structure, city center, whatever it's called, and then put it somewhere else on the planet, and then grow that one too. So you have multiple cities that you'll be able to build, and its radius will grow as you upgrade your city center, and you have to grow it by growing your population. So there's a lot of adjacency bonuses, tile bonuses, this structure likes this, and so on, so on, so on. So the Galaxies DLC introduces 3 modes. There's the Genesis Seed Initiative, a new competition galaxy, and a new endless galaxy. So there's 3 ways to play. That Genesis Seed Initiative is more of like an introductory short campaign that you can play to kind of introduce you to the whole idea of galaxies. It's all about earning victory points in this. You're going to choose a company, and you're going to be playing across multiple planets, and you're going to be earning victory points. And you've also got this space station, which is kind of cool. And by the way, you can set different difficulties. There's easy, normal, and hard. But yeah, there's a station that you control, and you're going to be, as you go from planet to planet to planet, I think there's 4 in the Genesis Seed Initiative, you're going to be able to add new things or modules, extensions, that will improve your gameplay for the rest of that session. So it's like a lengthy 4 planet mission campaign, but you upgrade along the way via this space station. And you can even like with the help of a structure on the planet's surface, there's like a space elevator that transports like specific items to your ship that you specify, and you can use those to upgrade as well. You can also, with your extensions, like using extension parts, you can buy buffs for your town centers so that whenever you go on a mission, go on one of those planets to start your victory point like game, you'll have an extra bonus like extra energy to start with, an extra drone for cleaning or an extra drone for maintenance, amplifiers, all that jazz. There's a lot to this game. But there's still that typical tech license stuff that you have to worry about. But don't worry about like picking and choosing while you're on the space station, because once you're on the surface, you kind of have to like get the tech licenses unlocked that suit your city center, because you might land in dry desert. So solar farms are great for that, or you might land near the ocean, so you might want wind turbines. Again, different tiles on the surface will grant different bonuses. So it's better to unlock the tech licenses and the different structures while you're there on the surface so you can see what's going to benefit you the most. But again, just like in the core game, you're going to look around the planet, pick a spot, and land your initial city center there. But the kicker with this is, especially in that Genesis Seed initiative and the competition mode, you've got other factions that you're going to be playing against. And let me tell you, it's not easy. It's even on the easiest mode, they will destroy you if you don't know what you're doing. And that's kind of unfortunate. I wish there was more ways to customize how aggressive they were, or customize how fast they grew, or maybe limit them so that they can't build tier 4 cities. Again, you can upgrade your city center to tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 depending on the surrounding population. But what's cool about this mode is that you're going to have different bonus objectives. So you're going to be earning victory points, like I said, for that planet, and that is made up of population size, how many emissions, like the faction with the lowest emissions will get victory points, and these victory points changes hands throughout that game. So like if you're doing great with emissions and all of a sudden you're polluting like mad, you're going to lose that victory point because someone else is emitting less than you. There's also victory point bonus goals. Like the one guy wanted me to sell him 2,000 food. So I rushed food production and just sold him a bunch of food all at once. And I managed to get a victory point, which was permanent for that, which is great. And I had to analyze 5 different trees. Another example, five different types of trees so that I could replant them in the future, but I had to get 5 of them. So I got 3 of them done, but then I didn't have like any other new trees in my radius of my city center. So I had to grow my population, get a second city center, put that down somewhere else where the trees looked a lot different, and then scam those, and then I got that second victory point for doing that. So this is like a very rushy, victory point heavy kind of game. But as I said earlier, there's that endless mode, which I think you'll be able to do on your own without competition if you choose to. There is this World Congress mechanic as well. You'll be able to vote on initiatives and different things like that. So that's a thing. Typically, you want to vote on the things that would penalize your opponents, but not you. That's typically what you want to do. But I have to stress, there's a lot more to Imagine Earth than what I'm able to convey in a 8 to 10 minute video. And that brings me to my next point. Should you buy this DLC? I would only buy it if you're comfortable with the core game, because the core game by itself is overwhelming to the first-time player. You want to spend a lot of time in the campaign learning things. You want to spend some time in Endless on your own, understanding how different structures work and all the different upgrades, and and if you even enable the bad stuff, like how to counteract those things. So I only recommend the DLC to people that plan to spend a lot of time with the core game if you haven't played it, or if you already have Imagine Earth and enjoy playing it a lot. But this is not a DLC that you could just jump into casually and have fun with. I feel like this DLC is a bit more hectic. Like when I was playing this my playthrough with this DLC, I was rushed. Like I was doing awful, and then I had to buckle down. I'm like, you know what? I can't play around anymore. I was just growing slowly, just having fun. But then the other companies were pulling ahead in victory points, so like I felt rushed to compete. And I typically don't like to do that. I like to grow at my own pace and just kind of watch Netflix or something or Amazon Prime movies while I'm doing it. That's just the way I play. So if you like a fast-paced competition style, gameplay mode, then Galaxies is going to be perfect for you. But again, I would only recommend this DLC to either someone that's experienced with the core game or someone that wants to play this game a lot because they like what they see, and then they're going to want more after the fact. Like I said, the game is 60% off right. The core game is 60% off, and the DLC that just released is 10% off. So now's the time to get it if you don't own either. Just be warned, there's a bit of a learning curve. But I still enjoy playing and I do recommend it, but you got to be patient with it. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Take care.